but I think we're almost there. Here we go. But I think we're almost there. Right. Paste that here. Paste this here. Almost there. There we go. All right. Now we are live. Keith, Brian, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'll try to say good morning less this time than I usually do. Folks, here is my links for today. I have another class. If you missed Stealth Surge yesterday, it's going to happen again today. And I posted the links in the chat. Jim, Olia, JB, hello, hello, hello. Howard, folks, Rochelle, hello. I'll give you guys a few minutes before we start. Just want to give the room some minutes to fill up. Glad everybody's here. Let me share my screen before I forget to share my screen. There we go. I shared my screen. Have you got soup? Have you got some soup for today? Julian, I've got some soup for today. I think I've got some soup for today. Cam, good morning. Good morning. All right, folks, I'm about to start. I'm not going to be saying good morning to everybody because there's going to be about 100 more people coming in the next 10 minutes. So I'll just get started and you guys could chat amongst yourselves, okay? Not trying to be rude, just want to get through this. Someone sent me an email yesterday, said, can you please stop saying good morning to everybody? We know you're here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Anyway, guys, good morning. Let me just write this in the chat here. Good morning, everyone. Here we go. That's it. Perfect. All right, let's start. I love doing these morning videos. They're like literally I like doing this more than the evening because I'm more energized. All right, so let's start. We do have a lot to talk about today, seriously. You've got the Nasdaq futures that are actually up a little bit. The Dow is down. It's interesting because the Dow is actually outperforming the QQQ most overnight session, but it looks like earnings are finally catching up. Wanted to talk a little bit about Tesla. I hate to say I told you so, and a lot of folks were looking for Tesla to do better and for it to bounce. But I want to talk a little bit about Tesla because it's going to be hot today. So Tesla gap down. If you look at Tesla, Tesla's now below this level right here. Now, it could come down all the way to this base, but honestly, unless we start really breaking down today, I think Tesla's going to start filling the gap. And I actually think that's going to give the market a little bit of a boost. I think it's a little overdone right now. I think funds decided to sell it a little too quick. If you look at the overnight session, it gapped right here, but it hasn't gone down since that time. So unless the market is really, really weak today, here's what I think is going to happen with Tesla. I think Tesla's going to make a low right here, maybe go a little lower, and then it's going to start gearing up. Now, is it going to make me bullish on Tesla? No. I'm still bearish on Tesla till Tesla's above the 200-day moving average. But it's a very highly traded stock, and I think it's going to start catching bids today. If anything, this gap will give us a nice little leeway for a gap to green trade later on. But as of right now, I genuinely would not touch Tesla with a 10-foot pole. Okay. Would not do it. Would not do it whatsoever. Be careful. Don't try to pick bottoms. If you guys want to do something that'll help you make money, write some options like right here, the puts right here, like the 160s. I may do that for, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll do that for the weekly cash flow because implied volatility is really high and it's probably going to stay high another couple of hours till market makers figure out what's going to happen. Now, interestingly, the stock is down 8.5%. If you look at earnings, and I'll talk about earnings right now, Tesla was being priced in at 6.8%. So the implied volatility, the move that came with Tesla was actually bigger than investors believed. Same thing happened with Netflix yesterday, which means option buyers made money, the strangle buyers made money, and the sellers lost, which is interesting. Usually we underperform, but we outperformed the implied volatility. It was 10% yesterday, if you recall, like 9.5%, 10%. And on Tesla, they were expecting 6.8, as you could see right here, and the stock is down 8.3%. It's always useful to look at this. This is why I always give you during earnings, I give you this so you could see what the expected move in either direction is. If you don't have this, and I'm sure most of you have it, but if you don't have it, let me just share it with you. I usually share it with my VIP room, and I posted a link. The first or second link I posted in the chat is my VIP room. But if you want the doc that I'm looking at right now, feel free to click that link and download it, okay? It's yours. And you could still, it's still not too late. I'll be posting these next couple of weeks. Tomorrow, you've got Visa, Intel, T-Mobile, Hum, Dow, LUV, WDC. Now, here's the thing about earnings you guys need to we're not really focused on EPS right now because they're expecting an even EPS, just barely a hair. So if earnings are just a little bit better than expected and FANG earnings come out next week, we could see some real upside. We also have FOMC next week. And typically markets, that's a big catalyst. But we've got leaders reporting this week. You notice how yesterday the stock market was really wacky? I mean, it gapped up, and then it started just going down all day long. That's earnings. Earnings is what's driving this market right now. And we've got to be really careful in light of that. So just to get off this topic, we've already saw Tesla, but you're also going to see IBM, which did better than expected, AT&T, FCX, leaders. And then tomorrow, look, leader, Intel, Visa, leader, T-Mobile, leader, BX, leader. These are leaders. So we got to be very cautious. Oh, today's Thursday. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm still on Wednesday. Yes, today. I apologize. This is all yesterday. It's still early here, Adam. I haven't had my water yet. My coffee. I don't drink coffee, but haven't had my tea yet. But you're right. Today's already Thursday. I'm thinking back Tesla, but that was last night. The days during the week, the nights, the days, they all roll into one big session for me. So, but thank you. You're right. It is today. So again, and then tomorrow you've got American Express and CL. By the way, we have in one of our programs, we have Goldman Sachs. I think BX and AXP is going to be very influential. But generally speaking, large cap earnings are very broad, which means they impact the broad market. Bottom line is you got to be very careful today and tomorrow and next week. So let's talk a little bit about the bond market. The bond market went down yesterday, filled the gap, and now again, notice this line right here. This is very interesting, I find. Notice it can't seem to break this level. That's good. That's really good for the stock market. The more or the less this declines towards the 50-day moving average, we're between the 200 and the 50, which is very choppy. But the more the markets decline and break this level right here, the weaker it'll be for the market. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but yesterday it broke down, and the market, as soon as it broke down, when it gapped up in the morning, the market was bullish. I actually sent you guys a telegram pointing it out and showing you how the bond market is breaking down right here, and the stock market just starts curling down. So keep your eye on the bond market, and if the bond market starts coming up today, that's going to take some pressure away from the stock market, okay? Let's talk a little bit about global economy. I'll get more into the bond market. I didn't even bring my water with me. There you go. So Tesla slumped over 7%, more than 7% in pre-market trading. They said weaker fourth quarter results and warned that vehicle volume growth may be notably lower in 2024. Now, folks, remember what I said, Tesla, the more Tesla stays around, and I'm not going to get on this tangent right now. Here's how you have to look at Tesla. 12 years ago, 15 years ago, Tesla was, wow. It was like, oh my God, this is something. The more time passes by, the more Tesla just becomes every other car. Why? Well, think about this for a second. Sony developed the DVD, okay? Do you think there was any difference between DVD players 10 years later? Think about what I'm saying. Just common sense. Common sense. When internet came out, Earthlink was really popular. Do you guys even know what Earthlink is right now? Does anybody remember Earthlink? Do you guys see my point? How many electric vehicles are there right now? How much competition they have? So, and again, I'm not trying to really talk smack about Tesla. I just think that they are becoming a regular car when you compare it to everything else that's out there right now. I'm looking at BMWs and I'm seeing electric BMWs and they look amazing. And again, this has nothing to do with, thank you, Eric. This has nothing to do with Tesla per se. It's just the fact that it's becoming just a regular car. It's not that exciting anymore. They haven't changed the Model S body style in 12 years. It still looks the same. It's not that exciting anymore, you know? So I remember somebody was telling me, Booker, I remember Booker. Remember Rob Booker? I remember Booker was telling me, wow, I just got a new Tesla like 7, 8 years ago. It was a big deal. Now it's like, okay. So that whole wow, this is exciting. The new candy, the new toy. It's not new anymore. It's just another car vehicle, and they're having more problems, and they don't have the money. I'll talk about PayPal. Thank you for reminding me, Timothy. So again, be careful with the stock. I think it's not as big of a Wall Street darling as it was 10 years ago. Yeah, yeah, it's lost its shine. That's really what it is. Now, let's say they start innovating. Maybe Elon Musk goes back and actually puts his thinking hat on, and they start innovating and they start coming out with new things that other cars don't have, like Toyota, who has 1,000 times more budget. Then we'll look at it again. But right now, I just don't see. Yes, Rochelle, I heard my wife told me that. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, it's true. They couldn't start in the cold. Basically, there's a lot of wanky stuff going on with it. Okay. So I'm not a fan. I'm not going to buy one, although I loved them when they first came out. My wife almost had me buy one a few years back, and I held my ground, and I'm glad I did. Okay. So Wall Street closed mixed. Benchmark S&P and Nasdaq record high on both indices. Very, very, very important. I know the market went down yesterday, but liquidity levels are still near all-time highs, and that means hedge funds are going to be buying like there's no tomorrow. Economic data showed manufacturing unexpectedly rose. This reduces the odds of the Fed lowering rates in March. By the way, the probability went again to 42.4. It's been going from 42 to 50, 42 to 50. Notice it's not at 68 anymore. So again, this is a major, and also I'm hearing that a lot of electric car makers are struggling to sell their cars right now. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm hearing. Thank you, Jim, for that comment. Very, very true. Yeah, Elon Musk does look depressed. 42% probability of a point. I think this is going to go into the 20s. And I've been saying this for 2 months. It's been going gradually down from 68 all the way into the 40s. Now it's 40, 50, 40, 50. Let's see what it is after the GDP and after tomorrow's data too. We're going to be focused on the GDP. The GDP comes out at 8:30 before the market opens in about 36 minutes. We also have durable good orders. We got international trades and goods and services. We have jobless claims. Folks, I dare you to pay attention to jobless claims. This is the most useless report we have seen in the last 2 years. Even during the height of the recessionary period, this number was low. It's now, I think, at 187,000. They're 187. I know my numbers. But again, 200, 220, 240, as long as this thing is below 300, honestly, it's not even worth talking about. It has no impact on the market at all. And tomorrow we've got personal income, and this is a major report that the Fed looks at aside from the GDP. So please, please, please don't go making big decisions about the market today till we get a good clearance and let the market trade, let it breathe a little bit. We got new home sales at 10 a.m. This is going to impact interest rates. Please, please, please listen to Uncle Roger. If you're in the trading pit, we just don't do anything before 10. It's holiday till 10. But if you're not, the only thing you should be doing before 10 a.m. is liquidating positions that are moving in your directions more than you can imagine, taking profits and maybe liquidating, but don't go making big decisions before 10 a.m. It's not a smart decision. I've already talked about the bond market. If we break below this level, we're going to be in deep doo-doo. The stock market's going to start selling off, especially interest rate sensitive stocks, which for the most part, they've all been lately. The S&P 500 made a swing high after a 2-day consolidation. Today, we're either going to break this level or we're going to just come right back here and consolidate again. I have no idea what the market's going to do because we're in the middle of earnings season right now, but I am more likely than not we're going to consolidate. Yesterday, the volatility picked up as the day continued. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I've got trades for the upside and downside. We gapped yesterday on the NASDAQ. I would not be surprised if this gapped down and just started coming back down here, kind of like we did right here. More consolidation, more consolidation, consolidation. Timothy says something about 10:15. Nothing comes out at, even 10:15 trading. I mean, I'll sometimes put on a position right at 10, but I find that the longer I wait in the day, the better my hit rate is. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but the better I wait, the longer I wait in the day, the better my hit rate is. Now let's look at the Dow real quick, and then I'll give you my ETFs and my top hit list. Look at that. We got 119 people watching. I love it. So if you look at the Dow, and the Dow, notice it peaked up, and for the last 3 days, the Dow has been going down. The Dow has not been making a new high. I think the Dow is going to continue doing this, kind of get back into the 8-day range, maybe come back down to this level. But again, I'm not really expecting a major turning point in the market. Uh, hey, Timothy, I just realized something. You're not asleep. Usually you sleep. You miss all this in the morning. Anyways, I'm just giving you a hard time, man. I'm just messing around. But notice the Dow is hit an all-time high 3 days ago, and the last 2 days, it hasn't been really doing much. It's been just kind of consolidating around here. But we're still above the 8-day EMA. And if I was to give you my prognosis, I could be totally wrong because I don't have a time machine and I don't know how bad or good the GDP durable goods international trades and goods and services. This one I couldn't care less. It means nothing. And again, don't forget new home sales. So let's talk a little bit about stocks. All right. Let's talk a little bit about stock. Oh, speaking of, before we get into stocks, speaking of the last 5 days, I just want to go through the last 5 days with you. The last 5 days, interest rates, communication, QQQ, technology, semiconductor, financial, interest rates, interest rates, interest rates, interest rates. Nothing has been changing at all. I mean, nothing, nothing at all. And here you could see all the defensive. So as far as I'm concerned, if the data is really good today, and IBM had good earnings, if you look at IBM today, by the way, I gave you IBM several days ago. I hope you guys took me up on it. Make some money. But IBM is up 7%, and look, it's up here. So I think the tiebreaker today is going to be the GDP, the durable goods, and the bond market. But as far as stocks to watch, let me give you some stocks that I'm watching right now. Remember, FANG reports next week. We can have a big, big move. That's another reason why I think stocks are kind of where they're at. Still not bad. Doesn't look too bad. This is this morning, but again, the stock is not looking bad. Amazon's looking good. As far as ETFs, today I usually give you guys an ETF. I like financial. Financial is my number one ETF right now. It's got a nice, strong trend right here. We'll see how it does this morning. I like TSM still, Taiwan Semiconductor. It's looking really good right now, and it's up pre-open. Remind me in a minute, and I'll go over PayPal. FHN. Like, now look at this consolidation right here. It's a nice break from a consolidation. We are now only starting to move higher on this stock. I like this. Actually, this looks a lot like GPC. I like this stock. I like this stock. Next one is WDC. Notice there's a lot of tech stocks on my list. There's still tech stocks. They're not done yet. We still have up till right here. We got a couple of dollars left on WDC. PGR, insurance, financial stocks, financial. Look at this beauty. That's a nice. I talked about that stock. By the way, every stock that I'm talking about here, for the most part, I've talked about. MetLife is breaking out. Look at this trend. Nice trend. Again, insurance, financials. GoDaddy. GoDaddy's looking good. Finally, now this is a new one. I haven't been talking about GoDaddy. Look at this trend. Nice trend. Again, be careful with tech right now. Be careful with tech. Marriott still moving. Still moving in the direction we want it to. Look at that. And again, notice not a tech stock. ORI. Look at this beauty. Looks very, very nice. G and K. Nice breakout. And what's that Sting? I think Sting is also doing. This is also tankers. These are shipping tankers. Shippers are starting to break out. So you've got two. You've got Sting and you've got GNK. packaging, shipping. But remember, that's industrial. Those are industrial stocks. So these two stocks are in the same boat. Now to the short side, PNW breaking down. Think about what will happen to this stock when the stock market starts breaking down, really breaking down, like going below the 200. APD still in play, still in play. Look at that breaking down right here. Looks like it's got some more downside. This one, we made money on this one in the trading pit, and it was down yesterday again. This is a good short right there. And last one, FWRD. I'll talk about PayPal in a second, Timothy. Look at that. I mean, really, look at this. This is a no-brainer. I love this stock. Okay, PayPal. I brought up PayPal yesterday. Let's talk about PayPal. Here's what you need to know about PayPal. If you look at the chart of PayPal, and we're going to look at a long-term chart of PayPal right here. So what happens? So I want to show you guys something. What happens when it hits the 200-day moving average right here? What happens when it hits the 200-day moving average right here? What happens when it hits the 200-day moving average right here? What do you think is going to happen right now since it just went up and hit the 200-day moving average right here? Did I say enough about PayPal, or is there anything else I need to say about PayPal? Do you guys need a roadmap, or did I say enough? Look at this. 200, 200. It's hard to see it with a 2-year. 200, 200. How many times has this happened? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and tried to get up right here. And remember, the market rallied. Do you think PayPal rallied with the market? The market's making a new all-time high. Look at PayPal. Tried to huff and puff, back down, breaking the 200-day moving average. Down, 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 down. I don't know if Tesla's going to make a robot, but I have no idea. But I think everybody understands exactly what I'm saying right here. Now, before I let you guys go, I have some breaking data that suggests that Moderna could be on the cusp of a significant upswing. I did a class yesterday, and I'm going to repeat one today. It's going to be happening at noon, high noon. Let me give you the link right here. Now, yep, that's the link. Let me just post it right here. Now, in fact, 14 multi-million-dollar hedge funds recently dumped over $1 billion of the stock. Is it an uptick or a sign of interest in this high-profile vaccine maker, or could there be something substantial at play? Don't miss this opportunity. Follow this link, sign up right now, and join me for my class. And if you want to join me in my VIP room where I go deep, real deep, here's my link for that too. Double doobie dub, down. That's right, Richard. I love it. 134 people watching this. Good morning, Dr. Serena. Hey, finally I get a chance to say good morning. All right, so PayPal is a bear. Tesla is probably a buy if it starts moving up at these levels, just for the short term. Be careful with GDP and not jobless claims and durable goods today. Keep your eye on the bond market. If this bond market, I know I'm looking at the 20-year. You could look at literally the futures if you want. Keep your eye on the bond market. If this breaks right here, if this barrier breaks, ba-boom. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Hopefully you got something out of this. Don't forget, post comments below this video. It helps us with our ratings. And to give us a thumbs up, like the channel, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. I'll see you at 11 a.m. I'm headed to the office right now to get ready for the morning pit. Bye, guys.